What's up guys, welcome back to another drawing tutorial. Today we have a Bleach character. We're going to do Ichigo, Horn of Salvation. So it's that three-quarter pose of him with sort of the horn sticking out from the side of his head, you know, coming across his face. So slightly trickier than normal poses. Three-quarter pose, we have a small eye, a big eye. This side of his face kind of slightly smaller than the other side. About half the size of the other side. So take your time, use a pencil and eraser, and hit pause if I go too fast. I'm on landscape paper. Let's go. So center point of my page is about here, center line. The eyes will be on the center line, right? So that's the center point of my page. I'll just come over to the left a little bit, and we'll start with his right eye. So let's say, yeah, so we'll go diagonal first this way, right? And then bring it across. Down to there. And you know, we can have some lines and sketchy lines and stuff here, depending on how close to anime or manga you want to do it. Like, you can make that more sketchy or less. What I mean by sketchy is, like, normally the manga has like extra sort of hand-drawn lines, but if you like the anime, just one line is enough. And then so he has his like tear duct here, right? So it like curves around, and then we will bring it underneath for the bottom eyelid, back up into the corner there. And his eyes are black, so we can't really see much in terms of lines and stuff in here, but maybe like some of the tear duct just there. Right, so then his iris, so half circle, sort of coming down here. Like so. And then his pupil. Just here. So to make it, so see, I did his pupil sort of like a little bit oval, to make it sort of look like he's looking this way, right? So it just makes it look like the pupil, the circle of his pupil is turned slightly. If you make it sort of skinnier, you know, if you have a circle that's like a full circle, if you turn it, eventually it gets skinnier and skinnier until you can't see the circle anymore, right? So that's what we did here. That's what makes him look like he's looking down this way. Right, so then his eyebrow, just above that eye, right? And he's got a sort of a real crinkly sort of eyebrow, right? So it kind of comes in this way, and then sort of bumps up here, bumps a couple of times, and then comes all the way back, like so. And real thin on top as well, so not like massive eyebrows or anything. They just sort of come across here, like that. So he's frowning quite heavily, right? So we got like a frown line sort of coming out this way. Out and around up the top of his head there. Up towards the top of his head. And then he can have some wrinkles just on the side of his nose. Sort of here. Going in towards his eye. So his other eye starts about here. So you're not quite eye width, right? So you'll come over where the eye starts. It's probably like 3/4 of the eye will fit in between his two tear ducts just here, right? So it's not quite a full eye width in between. So we go across. So we'll have like a bit of his eyelash or something sticking out here. It gets skinnier as we go down. like so. And then his eyelid underneath. Curves around like that, right? So you'll notice now these two eyes are different, right? This one is tilted up this way. Because we're in 3/4 pose, his head is turned the way, right? So the angles of his eyes are different. So it's just something to think about, you know, when you're trying to learn how to draw these things. I know some people probably can do it, no problem, but just for those who are learning, you know, the eye is turned away, so this eye is smaller than this one. And then his iris comes around underneath to there, and his pupil just underneath. You can see like a tiny little bit of it just there. So he's frowning as well, so we need a frown on this side, and it's kind of turned in this way, right, and goes up like so. And then his eyebrow comes up along here, slightly bumpy sort of eyebrow again, goes up that way. It just joins the side of his forehead, right, and it comes back down. So this is actually like the side of his head, and it comes back down right across his eye, just there. This is like his brow and his eyebrow and stuff, so this is like the line for the side of his head. So this comes down and into there. So his nose, so this line, right, will be like, say, we'll line this up with the nose, right, where it starts. So the nose will start coming down from this, right? Because your nose actually joins the middle of your forehead. The bone does, if you feel it on your own face. So this comes down diagonally, and some of this nose will go underneath his horn of salvation that comes off his head. So we can't see really the tip of his nose, but we'll draw it in anyway. Comes down there. And then his nostril, just here. And his mouth. So his mouth is slightly open, right? So we've got subtle curves. So we go down, up, and back down like this, right? So and this side is longer because this is the big side of the face. So the mouth is the same as the eyes. You'll have a small side of the mouth and a big side of the mouth. Small eye, big eye, right? Same sort of thing, same idea. And so to make it look like it's slightly open, we're gonna do a curved line down here, like that. And then we'll do his bottom lip. And curves up for the side of his mouth here. And his top lip line, just there, like so. Right, so we're in 3/4 pose, right? So we can see his chin right down here. Just sort of right underneath the mouth. And you can see like sort of these sections are sort of in line, right? They kind of go down in a horizontal, diagonal, sorry, fashion just there. Right? So that's like the tilt of his head. Coming down this way, right? His chin just under here. And proportion wise, so like you'll notice this section of his face is bigger than this section slightly. See that? So like the eyes to the nostril, say, is a little bit bigger. But like pupil to bottom of his nose or to his nostril, it's about the same as nostril to chin, but it's a little bit bigger. That's because his head is tilted towards us. You could probably get away with making them the same size, but just because of the perspective of his head coming forward, this bit is bigger. So here to here, just goes beyond the chin. So this is like skinnier, right? But then usually nostril to bottom lip is about the same as bottom lip to chin. That's still in proportion. So the bottom lip, where his bottom lip will be, is halfway between his nostril and his chin. That's just general, some proportion stuff. If you want to think about that, you can. So then the side of his face comes up this way, right? So we have his cheek, and then it curves in, and then we have his jaw on this side, right? So we can start at the eye, do the cheek up here. So it curves out first, slightly, right? And goes in towards his nose here, and then it'll come out, curve out. So it curves in and then curves out then towards his chin, right? Subtle, gentle curve, not like a crazy curve. You'd barely notice that bend now. Right? Then on this side we're different. We can see his jaw. So we go up. That direction, right? That angle. And we're stopping sort of across from his nose here. And then we turn the corner and go up towards his ear. Like so. So some of his ear is covered again, but we'll draw most of his ear in. Might as well, and then we can erase it afterwards. So like his ear just kind of comes up and around. Like so. And then you can do bones and ligaments on the inside. So I always say the easiest way is like this sort of letter J sort of thing. You can add more or less detail to it. This kind of stuff. Right, and then he's got a sideburn, so he's got a rather long one. So it like comes down here. It's got some lines on the end. And then we go back up. There's some texture lines here, and I'll bring it the whole way up here, but it goes underneath that horn as well, so it starts to join his hairline then here, and we just have like all these zigzag lines, this kind of thing, right? And this will go up behind his ear then, right? So these sorts of zigzag lines for his hair keep going across his head, right? And we're going, so the middle of his forehead will be here. Right, so we got on this middle line, this sort of curved middle line, right? You'll have this V here. And if you're wondering how high up to go, eyebrow to like the top of his forehead is about the same as eyebrow to his nostril. So here to here, about the same as here to here, just so you don't make his forehead too big, right? So we keep going that way, and then we add some going this way. This is the small side of his face, remember, so you don't go like too crazy on this side. Like so, and then we'll curve it down and out for his brow. Like so. Right, so on his face we do the horn first. Yeah, maybe we'll do the horn first. So like up here, just above this corner of his hair, right? We're going to put the horn in. So it comes out here. starts to come out from the side of his head, just above his ear. So there's like some hairlines here, some like hair sort of texture. Like this would be maybe the center of it. Like some more hair here. And then we'll go diagonal to there. So then this will go along this way. And then it'll go to here. Then it'll change direction again to about there. And then we change direction again and go in towards his ear. And then we go long down to here, so it's like point down here is where we're aiming. You could use a ruler, but it's kind of like a bumpy line, so it's kind of curved as well, so it kind of goes like it's a natural object, I guess. It is sort of bumpy. So we just keep going this way. Right, like so. Right, so then this will come back this way. And as well, don't worry if you're bumpy or, you know, not sort of, but you want it to be kind of straight. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight. Right, and then, so the big long sort of section here, and then it goes in, and it'll go wrap around back into the side of his head, right? So it goes like up here, and then we'll go into the side of his head, just there, right? And now we can erase any lines inside here that we shouldn't see. Right, so now there's some extra details in on this horn, some extra lines, right? So I guess the first one we'll do will come out from up here. So we'll go diagonal, and then we'll come around, kind of wraps around here and comes down to here, and then it'll follow that shape to there, and then this will run nearly the whole way down this blade, right? So you'll just keep going. Nearly the whole way. So then this becomes another line that comes out up here. So it comes, say, out the top here and goes down that way. And then this will go up and around and back into his head again. Into there. And this has like some texture on it, just in there. And it also has another inside line, another sort of bumping line here. down into there. And then another line inside. And then there's like texture on the horn, right? So there's all these sort of lines. Just to show sort of, you know, that's kind of like a bone or something like that. Pew, pew. Drawing sound effects. Pew, 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 pew. Don't mind me. Right, so on his face then we got those black lines, right, that come down just like the front. So it kind of goes down, bumps over his frown, comes back and has, goes over his wrinkles and comes down to a spike here. Go back up. Like that. And then back down. Kind of in underneath his eye. And out here. And jump over the horn and back to there. Down like so. Kind of like that. And then the rest of his hair. So loads of hair spikes sticking out. So lots of texture as well. And kind of double lines and stuff like this. So we're going to go up and all the way around. It comes all the way down behind this horn here. So there's no easy way of doing it. You just kind of got to rip the band-aid off and go for it. So. So yeah, then there's like a bigger one here, right close to the top of my page now. Might go off the top of my page a little bit. So, and then some down in like here is coming down behind the center of the horn. And then it comes down behind the back of his head. It goes in behind his ear. Texture lines as much as you'd like. There, like that. Right. So, right. So we're in sort of 3/4 pose. So he's got that big shoulder pad on this side, smaller shoulder on this, kind of standard shoulder. So I guess we'll do his collar first. So comes down just this way, kind of this bumping sort of white collar. Would be, yeah, sort of like go down that way. the other side comes from underneath just the middle of his chin, just here. Right, like so. Then we cut off his collarbones, right? So his collarbone will just go up like that way towards his shoulder on this side, and the collarbone on this side will go up towards his shoulder over here. And then we have like neck muscle line there. And another one, say, well, looks like we have Adam's apple actually here. And then there should be another neck muscle line going that way. Neck muscle there. Something else here. Right, and then we have some more white torn sort of sections of his uniform, like that, and a big torn black section coming out from beside his eye, his cheek of his eye, just here. No, there's no sort of one way of doing ripped or torn clothing. You just got to do sort of these jaggedy lines. So could be some fold lines or something. Just there, and then his shoulder will come out just from here. And his tricep that way. And you'll have a shoulder line going this way. There. And then he has another black line on this shoulder, just going down this way. There, and he's got some on his neck as well, so one going down this way. There. And this one going out from his chin down here. Down like so. Okay, so that big shoulder pad that's on his shoulder, right? So it's like real big. So it goes this way. And then some more sort of black torn clothing back here. And then this goes down this way. This is like the line for his white part of his uniform and the black. Right, so then this shoulder pad has bumps just here, and then we'll bring it down. It has like a white outline, like a white frame or something. So it has like all these lines on it. And then it comes down to there. And then another sort of white line section. Bumps around, comes back, up, down. And then this goes down that way. And then we have padding just inside here. And then the other side, so there's like a strap that runs down his body here, and then this will go towards the bottom, and then this has all sort of crisscross lines on the padding. Like this sort of thing. Like so, and then so these will crisscross one another, so we'll go like so. These sort of diamond-like shapes. So these look like kind of diamonds then when you've all the crisscross done. That's what we're going for. And then we do sort of the same thing here. So we'll go crisscross. Try and make them look slightly diamond-ish. Like so. It could be like faux lines there. But I think that's everything. That's how to draw Ichigo, Horn of Salvation. Hope it was helpful, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.